The air crackled with the impossible heat of a star. Fiery tendrils danced around him, a crown of flame atop his head, as Johnny Storm, the Human Torch, soared through the shattered cityscape. He was a beacon of defiance, a living embodiment of the sun, and in that moment, utterly confident in his explosive power. Across from him, a grotesque green figure, a Skrull warrior named Klurt, known to the universe as the Super Skrull, mirrored his every move, twisting his body into a fantastic parody of the Fantastic Four's might. Klurt held the power of Reed Richards' elasticity, Sue Storm's invisibility, Ben Grimm's rock-hard strength, and even Johnny's own fiery essence. But today, the Skrull had a new trick. As Johnny unleashed a searing Nova Blast, the Super Skrull, with a chillingly calm expression, raised a strange, pulsating device. It wasn't an attack, not in the way Johnny understood it. Instead, it hummed, then shrieked, a sound that seemed to tear at the very fabric of reality. A sickening coldness washed over Johnny, not the chill of the vacuum of space, but something far more invasive. It felt as if an invisible siphon had been plunged into his very core. The flames around him flickered, then dimmed, then vanished. His skin, which moments before had pulsed with internal fire, now felt strangely cool, ordinary. He felt a profound emptiness, a sudden, terrifying void where the raging inferno of his abilities once resided. He plummeted, a gasp escaping his lips, his body heavy and unresponsive without the lift of his own heat. It was only Ben Grimm, the Thing, with his rock-solid hands, who caught him, preventing a crushing impact with the debris-strewn ground. Johnny looked at his hands, ordinary, unburning. The Super Skrull, meanwhile, chuckled, his form glowing with an amplified, almost mocking blaze. He had drained Johnny Storm of his very essence, leaving him utterly powerless. The devastation that washed over Johnny was profound, far deeper than any physical injury. For so long, his identity had been inextricably linked to his powers. He was the Human Torch, the hothead, the youthful daredevil who could fly and burn and shine. Now he was just Johnny, vulnerable, exposed. The initial shock quickly gave way to a gnawing sense of helplessness, and perhaps, for the first time in a very long time, true fear. He was used to being the one charging headfirst into danger, the one who could incinerate threats with a thought. Now, he stood on the sidelines, a bystander in his own life, in his team's fight. The Super Skrull continued his assault, and Johnny could only watch, a lump in his throat, as his teammates struggle. He felt like a burden, a weak link. This feeling was a bitter pill for a hero known for his boundless self-confidence, often bordering on arrogance. Yet, even stripped of his flames, Johnny Storm was still a member of the Fantastic Four. Reed Richards, ever the brilliant tactician, knew that while Johnny couldn't engage physically, his mind, his knowledge of the team's dynamics, and his familiarity with their foes were still invaluable. This was where Johnny's true trial began. He had to learn to contribute in ways he never had before, through observation, through strategy, through sheer, stubborn determination. He became the eyes and ears, spotting weaknesses that his battling teammates might miss. He used his knowledge of the Super Skrull's past tactics, remembering obscure details from previous encounters that suddenly became crucial. He found himself thinking, analyzing, calculating, rather than simply reacting with a fiery burst. It was a painstaking process, requiring patience, a virtue Johnny had previously been in short supply of. He saw his teammates not just as fellow superpowered individuals, but as complex people, each with their own strengths and vulnerabilities, and he had to rely on them, trust them, in a way that went beyond mere combat coordination. This period of powerlessness was profoundly humbling. Johnny, who once reveled in the adoration and the sheer thrill of his abilities, now understood the weight of responsibility that came with them. He understood that his worth wasn't simply measured by the intensity of his Nova Blasts or the speed of his flight. It was in his courage, his quick thinking, his loyalty to his friends, and his unwavering commitment to doing what was right, even when the odds were stacked impossibly against him and he had no obvious means to fight back. The experience forced him to shed the skin of his youthful arrogance. He had always been the fun-loving, sometimes irresponsible one. But being vulnerable, truly vulnerable, made him look inward. He saw himself not as a living flame, but as a person, a hero, whose identity was forged in more than just incredible powers. It was forged in character. He realized that a hero without powers still has purpose, still has value, and still has the capacity to inspire and contribute. Eventually, through Reed's ingenuity and a fierce, coordinated effort by the Fantastic Four, the Super Skrull was neutralized, and the special device was neutralized, allowing Johnny's powers to slowly, tentatively return. The first flicker of flame on his fingertips was a profound relief, a warmth that spread through him. But it was different this time. It wasn't just raw power. It was power imbued with a new sense of appreciation, of responsibility, and of humility. Johnny Storm was once again the Human Torch, blazing brighter than ever. But he was also something more. He carried the indelible mark of his ordeal, a quiet understanding that being a hero isn't just about the flash and the fire. It's about resilience, about adapting, about recognizing that true strength comes from within, from your character, from your connections, and from your unwavering spirit, even when your most defining abilities are stripped away. It was a hard-won lesson, but one that forged him into a more complete, more insightful, and ultimately, a more heroic individual. The Human Torch's trial by powerlessness serves as a poignant reminder that while extraordinary abilities are certainly impressive, they are not the sole measure of a hero. True heroism often blossoms in the face of adversity, in moments of profound vulnerability, and in the quiet realization that our worth extends far beyond our perceived strengths. It's a testament to the idea that sometimes losing everything is the only way to truly find yourself. What do you think about Johnny's transformation? Have you ever found that a challenging experience, something that stripped away what you thought defined you, ultimately made you stronger or gave you a new perspective? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this journey into the quiet wisdom behind a fiery hero, please consider liking this video and subscribing for more stories of courage, character, and unexpected lessons from the world of comics. Until next time, keep exploring the depths of heroism.